All right, let's go. You about to get busy today. So in I started working on this app in Bolt. It's the app that I entered into the contest. I started in Bolt. I went to Lovable, went back to Bolt. I didn't get it to the place that I wanted it to be in the contest, but I sent it anyway. And I didn't touch it because I know I'm not going to win because it's not finished, but I think you probably don't supposed to touch it till after this judge. I don't know. I ain't even follow up because I know it's not actually in a position to win, but at the same time, I don't know what kind of problem it causes if you mess with it and throw them off. And since I've been messing with Replit, at this point, I feel more comfortable rebuilding the app in Replit. And I think I'll get further faster, get the thing done. Um, so let's go on this journey. I kind of been putting it off because I know that I'll fight to keep from adding more and more and more and more to the apps. But let's start with the MVP. The most important thing is, I mean, most of y'all don't care because you probably not interested in trucking, you're interested in no code. But I am a retired trucker, and I know that truckers have a serious problem. That problem is finding trucking companies that they're compatible with for various reasons. First of all, they're lied to by recruiters, which is the dumbest thing I ever seen. Because why would you try to get somebody at the company that isn't a fit? But they get paid for getting people in the door. That's why the turnover rate is so high, greatly. Because if the drivers was compatible, then they would know what to expect, and what they experience is what they expected, and is what they were told, and they would stay there. But anyway, all right. So let's get over this. Um, so tell us about your idea. All right, I need a voice for this one. I hope I can do it while I am recording this video. Let's see. My app idea, the overall big picture context is it is an app that will effectively match trucking companies with truck drivers and people who want to become truck drivers. Now, the way, dog, I do have these specific questions already written though. Let's see what you can come up with. The way that it is going to do this is by asking questions that are most important to drivers. That's the questions that the trucking companies will be asked. Do you have a rider program? How often will I realistically should I realistically expect to get home? What is the average home time of your drivers? Or what is your policy? How much time out will equal to how much time in? What is the average miles paid per week? What is the average driver's pay per month? Um, Obviously, what's the rate per mile? Um, what's the required? Obviously, the standard stuff. What's the requirements of the company? That's that goes without saying. That's normal part of the application process. What we want to know is how many drivers per dispatch or driver manager. Um, what types of driving jobs are available at the company? Meaning equipment, dry van, flatbed, reefer, heavy equipment, container. Is there training provided to drive other types of equipment other than dry van? That's a separate question. Is there training provided? Heavy hauling. Is there training provided? Um, I think I already said Do you have a rider policy? You know, um, are recruiters trained on how to? Are there any require? Well, I'm going to put it here. I don't. I will be surprised if companies say yes, but I'm hoping that by having it here is something that eventually will be incorporated in the training. So let's put it there for that reason, that is on the radar. And then something very okay. This is something very important that we can do in some kind of way at some point. The question that should be asked of companies: is there any training provided for recruiters and dispatchers uh, along the line of personal development? So I don't know what To me, it's personal development. Maybe it's um, intercommunication. Anyway, we're talking about attitude, knowing how to deal with people from various backgrounds and maybe going through different circumstances. Um, and I don't know the background, because if I give you the background, you have to come up with how to frame this, then you know where I'm coming from with it. The reason I say that is because it's pointless to treat a driver who is facing let's say, a death or a serious illness or an accident at home in the same way you would deal with a driver who's trying to get home, schedule home time, who is basically just because he's been out for five weeks. I mean, that's not a happy driver. That's bad, but it's still different from somebody who's trying to get home because of an emergency type situation. You don't just be cold and to the driver like the driver is a piece of equipment and not a person. Do you see what I'm saying? So not everybody has sense enough to understand that. They're going to handle them the same way. So the default that should be in any company, just as it should be for the driver, and we'll handle that for our intake process, is that they are exposed to training to make them aware that you don't rely on whether or not that person knows that. You give them training so that they are made aware of this, and everyone is exposed to it. So now you don't have to, they don't wonder anyway, but now it's not up to whether or not they were taught this or came across this area of interest on their own. It's part of the culture to teach them that at the company. Anyway, um, I should have reviewed the other questions that I had been working on to ask the company. But we'll start with that. Make sure we're able to add more questions for the company as we go forward. And for the driver side, obviously this is the onboarding now that we'll do for both sides. That's the information that we're going to use to determine if they are a match for each other. In addition to the standard stuff, what type of equipment, what type of training you had, how long have you been driving, what does your record look like? It's the preliminary stuff. So now on the driver side, information that the company will want to know. How many accidents have you had? How long have you been driving? Have you had training in personal development? Um, have you gone through orientation? And we'll have an orientation in the app. So all right. So we do have a training uh, channel inside the app that's coming up. So, and by the way, so if the drivers complete this training and receive a grade of 90 or better, then, well, I don't know if they complete the training, then we allow them to check that they've completed this training. So this means there's got to be a connection. If they have not completed the training as registered in the system, that check won't work. They can't check that box. or it could be automatic. However, either way, it doesn't matter to me. Uh, it'd be better if it's automatic. If they complete the training, it's automatically checked in their profile that they've completed orientation to trucking training. And all right, what else? Do companies want to ask drivers? Should companies know? Are you married? Are you single? Well, I guess you can't really. No, they ask that, right? Obviously, whatever is illegal to ask, don't ask. Just let me know. You can't ask that. But I'm just thinking from a way of doing a good compatibility analysis. That matters. Of course, you can. Oh, no, I know how I was doing it. I know how I was doing it. I was saying, what are you seeking in the company? What are you seeking? Actually, oh boy, I just sound all scattered all over the place, right? It's different angles. So the information needs to be available and attributed to the driver and to the company. And then it could go both ways. What are you seeking? And then you can also be available to be sought, to be found, to be searched, if that makes sense. So the questions to ask the driver, some of them I just said. How long are you willing to stay out? What type of trucking job do you want? Local, regional, long distance, over the road? And then, like I said, how long are you willing to stay out? What is too long to be out for you? How much? What's the minimum amount of money you expect to make per month? And in the orientation, we'll talk to them about week to week. The amount could vary unless it's dedicated, but the monthly average is more reliable because then you can make up for short weeks and longer weeks, which is often how trucking works. If we have one week that's extraordinarily short, then it's usually because the other week prior was extraordinarily long. Part of the trip lasted 2 days into the week. All right. Anyway, uh, and this is stuff that we teach on our end as far as orientation. Um, what else would it benefit the company to know about the driver in order and for there to be for it to be attached to a driver's name so that you can do the proper compatibility analysis? Um, do you have responsibilities at home that require you to be home at certain intervals? I don't know how you answer that question, but you get that what I'm trying to find out. If a driver has responsibilities, then there's certain companies that he shouldn't go to because they can't guarantee that he'll be home every 2 weeks, every other weekend, and stuff like that. So let's get this stuff out on the table so that we can figure out who belongs where. Um, how long have you been driving? How long do you plan? That's my type of thing. How long do you plan on driving? You know, um, do you want to? What types of equipment do you want to drive? Would you want to buy a truck, become an owner operator? Would you want to become an owner operator? That's low on the compatibility factor, if you ask me, as far as from the company's perspective. The driver could seek out whether the company has an owner operator program, but as far as the company, I mean, it could matter. But the reason I say that is because a driver could change his mind on that. So whatever the answer to the question is now is not really reliable because you can't lock him. You can make it. You really don't know until he's get out there driving. You know what I'm saying? Uh, what else? All right. Like I said, there's also going to be a training component. So we need to be able to upload. Let's say, let's just say put in URLs for YouTube video. I don't know if I want to upload it direct yet. Let's see how this does. Um, for the training portal. All right, I guess I got to give you. No, I ain't got to give it to you yet. So there's going to be training for orientation and trucker success and becoming an owner operator, how to use load board or negotiating freight rates, not necessarily how to use load board, but negotiating freight rates. Nothing, I say, exhaustive and thorough, but just stuff that techniques that I use for negotiating. That is helpful because, it took a while to figure out how to accomplish things and look at things and think about things. Um, Cameras. All right, on the driver side, do you have a problem with driver-facing cameras? Do you have a problem with front-facing cameras inside the truck? And for what we asked the trucking company, are driver-facing cameras required? No. Are there cameras inside the cab? Yes, no. And then are they facing the driver and the road? Or I don't know how I want to know if they have driver facing cameras and or cameras that face the road. We need to determine that because this need to be things that you can match for compatibility. All right, so let's just start with this. We have the training portal and we have the onboarding for drivers and the companies. So where we at? I have never recorded this long. I don't know what's going to happen, y'all. It's been like 15, well, I think it said 12 minutes and some change. This will be the longest. Transcription failed. This is one of the ones where I should have used for ChatGPT. Because, this is just exhaustive. I need help with that. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so what I want to do is create an app for truck drivers and trucking companies to be able to match each other on compatibility. So this is not necessarily, I guess eventually we'll get to the actual application part, but this is more about, I don't know how it works really. This is more about compatibility, lead generation. That's how it works, I suppose. But this is about compatibility. We're trying to reduce driver turnover and by improving driver satisfaction and their happiness with the company that they go to. How do you do that? That's very simple. In theory, it requires the driver to be truthful and upfront, and it requires the trucking company to be truthful and upfront, and for us to proactively ask each one the questions that are necessary in order for the information and data to be available to have a proper compatibility analysis. And so what are the things that are important to the driver? What does he need to know about the trucking company? And it's going to be stuff like, do you have a rider program? What's the average pay per month? How long am I required to stay out? Have your dispatchers going through training to deal with drivers? What happens? Where do you run? Where would I be required to run? That's a better question. Where would I be required to run? And of course, which is tied to where the company, what are the company lanes? But what what opportunities are there for what types of equipment do you have to drive? Is there training for the equipment other than drive-in? For example, if they say heavy haul, reefer, oversized, uh, I think I said rider program. What are the details of the rider program? Well, I don't know about how the details in this because you can just go to the driver to the company's website or whatever and get the actual details. As long as you know they got a rider program. Um, and then for the driver side, these are things that the company will want to know so that they can hire the right type of driver. Have you gone through the orientation for truckers? And we'll have that available on the website. I mean, on the app, orientation for truckers. Um, how long, the standard stuff, of course, how long have you been driving? What type of equipment have you driven? How many major violations do you have on your license? How long ago was the last major violation? But more importantly, for this purpose, are there places that you refuse to go? What is the maximum amount of time that you will want to be out? What is the expected amount of time that you will want to be out? What is the ideal? Not expect. Yeah, let's say what is the ideal amount of time that you will want to be out? Um, or do you have responsibilities at home that require you to be able to get home at last minute notice? Because that could be a big deal. There's no need of if that's true. There's no need of going to a company who can't accommodate that. There will be a few companies who could accommodate that, especially if they are regional or uh, even if they're not regional, but they drive dedicated or have specific lanes that keep you in certain areas in which you're talking about a day or two. Well, who's going to do that? It's just best to be upfront about that in the beginning. So if that situation comes up, you're not at a company who can't accommodate that. Just go to a company who can accommodate that, yeah, or is even willing to do whatever they can to accommodate it. What else would the company want to know? I don't know. Let's start there before I make this too long again. I need to find out what is the time limit. Okay, so far so good. So that I can state it for the person who's recording so that they know. Because I'm acting like a trucking company now. That's right much. Let's see what it says. This is a great concept for an app targeting truck drivers and trucking companies. Your focus on compatibility can really help reduce driver turnover and improve satisfaction. Let's break down your idea into key components and focus on the app's core functionality. Core functionality: driver profile creation, driver's input, personal preference, time in, out, time out on the road, preferred routes, rider program needed, include questions about driving history And qualifications, company profile creation, trucking companies provide details, pay scale, dispatch, training, equipment types, information on company policies, rider program, flexibility for home time. I forgot to ask about exercise. Facilities I forgot to ask about, and where their terminals are located. And if you can drive the truck home. Compatibility matching algorithm use collected data to match jobs with companies based on preferences and requirements. Did I tell them to make sure I'm able to add to both of these groups? Questionnaire setup design a proactive questionnaire for both drivers and companies to fill out search and filter options. Feedback system. After a match, allow users to provide feedback on their experience and improve future matches. Yeah, that's good. That's good. This thing is working. Questionnaire setup, design a proactive key features. User accounts, implement accounts for drivers and companies to save profiles and preferences. Data storage, use secure database for storing user profiles and match results. Integrations needed. Consider APIs for user authentication and possibly connecting with existing truck management software. No, it's not connecting with existing truck management software yet. I mean, we can leave it open. Next steps. MVP focus. Start with basic matching features before expanding into more complex functionalities. Nah, bro. We either do it. All right, let's see what you're talking about, because ain't no need of just doing something that's already existing. User experience. Think about how users will navigate the app. A simple, intuitive design will be crucial. Question for you. What specific features do you see as the most critical for your MVP? Do you have a technology stack in mind, or are you open to suggestions for development? I like that question. Let's refine this further. Do you want to proceed? Questions. Yes. Most critical for the MVP? Matching functionality is most critical. Or is there even is there a need to say that, because that's what the whole app, the core function of the app is. I forgot some company questions. One, can do drivers take the truck home? Is there secure parking for cars or vehicle when the driver comes in to work? OTR drivers. Well, I don't need for that. What else? Let's say, I don't even know if any trucking companies have this. Is there any type of support group training portal orientation for the spouse? I don't know if anyone does this. If none of you guys, if any of you guys implement this, I'm sure it will be a value add to the driver. It makes it seem like you actually care about their success, and it gives you a better quality driver, because you can put all types of personal development things into something like that for both sides. And you can help the spouse. You can be now they hear from the company's mouth some of the types of things that the driver will be facing and does not have control over. Whereas without hearing it, then who knows what the relationship might have been with their spouse who was out there. So if they had a history of lying or this, that, the other, and now they're trying to communicate a certain thing to the spouse that basically is not pleasant to hear and might seem like he's trying to, this is why, yeah, I didn't make it home this weekend because this, that, the other. She might think it's ridiculous. She ain't never been, if it's all this trucking thing is new. But if the company has an orientation process in which it's explained to the significant other that these things come up. Sometimes you talking about logistics as part of our vocabulary in the industry is this is what it means. If there's no load in the area, we can't send a person a ridiculous amount of distance away to go pick up a load just to send them here. You send them back. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff, basically, whatever. You get the idea. But any company should be open to having that type of training. How much is it going to cost you versus the benefit of it, and it making you stand out compared to other trucking companies. You benefit more than it will cost you to implement. Yeah. And you should also have something like that for the drivers. But we'll be incorporating what we can on our side as well to help facilitate this. But I mean, all of y'all should be racing to do this yourself. That's it for now. Let's go. Great. Focusing on the matching functionality is a smart move. It's essential to ensure that both drivers and companies find the right fit. Let's integrate your additional questions into the app's functionality and continue. I still forgot to talk about the orientation. Company profile, push details, pay scale, benefits, dispatch training for drivers. Company profile creation, dispatch training for drivers. Oh, company profile. All right. New question. The driver take the truck home. Is there secure parking for vehicles when drivers come to work? To support orientation drivers. Oh, I forgot to add additional features. Include a guided setup for both drivers and companies to ensure they complete profiles fully. Support and resource. Provide resources for training and support groups, especially for spouses, to enhance the community aspect. Technical considerations, user experience. Make sure onboarding is simple and engaging. Use progress indicators to show users how much they have completed. Data security. Ensure secure storage for sensitive information, especially related to driver qualification and company policies. Next step, prototype focus question. What specific criteria would you like matching algorithm to prioritize? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. All of it. How do you envision the onboarding experience for both drivers and companies? I don't know. You got to figure that out for me. Also, I think you mentioned it though. Make sure I can provide a link for YouTube videos to provide content. I'm doing this backwards. I should start with this. There will be a orientation to trucking course and trucking success course. I say course. Let's say video. I was just thinking, oh, so I was just thinking there could be training requirement or at least available for companies who on board as well to give them orientation to the driver's mindset to help them understand how important it is for them to be basically be upfront about what the driver can expect and just provide the driver's perspective basically in a proactive way to help them basically eliminate the excuse of not understanding the driver's perspective. I mean, and also showing that you care enough to try to go through it. Again, you get the check mark. If you took that training, then it's a check mark. That's just what I'm thinking about doing. Anyway, I think pass the video, pass the quiz on the video. Also, make sure I can provide a link for YouTube videos who provide content. There will be an orientation to truck and training video with quizzes for the video. They check one that they passed the quiz on the video. I think it's all going to be together. Just to be clear, drivers don't have to watch, take, watch the video and take the test. But if they do and pass the test, they get a check mark saying they did, which lets the employer know they are actively wanting to learn and grow, not just get a job trucking. An indication of a higher quality person, thus driver. Uh, you know, at the end of the day, you say what you want to. That's what it means. Or let's just say a person who is more likely to be a good employee, put it that way, because also a good person, better person. The mindset is different. You understand what I'm saying? Um, what else? What are we supposed to be doing here? How do I envision onboarding? They sign up for onboarding. I need help envisioning it. Best I got is they reach the app and sign up to be available for matching. Then they are given questions that will go to make up their profile. Now, how does this work? Like I said, ideally it should tie into some type of trucking system, but I'm back to just to the oh well, trucking companies can, that's how it works. Okay, I guess all right. This is how it works. Either no, how it works is the trucking company. All right, let's see. Moving forward, 3 out of 6. Maybe we'll get to that. Uh, I think how this is sustainable is I don't be waiting for it to ask questions. I just be giving it stuff, which is perfectly fine for you guys to do. Basically, the breakup in questions and the prompting is kind of to help you to come up with thoughts and ideas, help things move along, help it to acquire information. So it's fine if you come up with things that you want to add that's not necessarily directly related to what is the focus questions, because I'd rather for you to ask it than run the risk of forgetting to ask it or including. It's still going to organize it and put it together. That's what the whole process is for. I think how this is sustainable is the trucking company pays to be listed after 3 months. This gives it time to be populated with drivers. Drivers will also be free for 3 months. Anyone let's see. This is how to do it for 3 months. Okay, this is how we do it. All drivers who sign up September, October, November by November 1st will always be free. No, will be free for a year. Because you guys will help me improve on the system. Any issues, then just let me know, please, so we can work the kinks out. Any feedback, let me know, please, so I can improve upon it. And in return for that, you will be using it. You will be able to use it for the whole year for free. Um, let's put it back. Drivers will also be free for 3 months. Um, After 3 months, there's a small fee. Now you might say, well, why is it a fee? Because guess what? If you're not willing to spend money, again, that says, well, if you're not spending, I don't know what it says. But if you are willing to spend in order to have a higher factor of compatibility, it says that you see the importance and significance in that. And you want something with a higher probability of it being a good fit. Just a different mindset. You understand? And so a person that says, yes, I'm willing to pay $19 to be available for compatibility matching so that I'm likely to get at a company that I think is a better fit than just going the generic standard route, that says something. You automatically are more likely to be a better employee, better truck driver for the companies that are listed. And if that doesn't make sense, that's cool. And you don't have to agree either. That's the way I look at it. Uh, Maybe we'll do some studies. I'll pay somebody when I get money to see if that is true or not. That would be interesting. Anyway, see if there's any scientific basis for that statement that I made. Anyway, drivers will also be free for 3 months. Well, and then it's $5. No, I do want it to be, let's say $9. Like I said, I want there to be a charge because I want there to be some type of commitment. I don't want you people to just be signing up to be signing up. You know, um, companies listed first September, October, November, December. Let's say, however, until January 1st, trucking companies get 1 month free listing before being charged. The amount is $2.99 per month. I need admin dashboard where I can create another tier, and also operate a referral system if trucking companies want me to hand pick drivers for them. Don't know how that works yet, but I know I want to be able to do that. Outside of that, though, trucking companies contact drivers. Oh, well, I ain't gonna say direct, but through the app. Through the app. The app with messages or whatever. Notification with notification. Company notification. Drivers can get trucking company contact link to apply from the company profile. The company can turn this on or off. So let's go for the next round. We got 3 more questions. Let's see what it says. This is an exciting direction. Your ideas for the orientation training video and onboarding process will enhance the value of your app. Let's outline these components clearly and strategically. Orientation training video. Training videos with quizzes. Content. Provide a link to YouTube videos for training content. Quiz requirement. Drivers can voluntarily watch the video and take a quiz. Passing criteria. Drivers must score 100 to receive a check mark on their profile indicating complete. Benefit. This shows employers that the driver is proactive and committed to learning. Onboarding process. Sign-up process. Initial access. Users download the app and sign up to create an account. Profile creation. After signing up, drivers fill out a series of questions to build their profile. Oh, man, I almost forgot. All right, anyway. Build their profile. Include essential questions about preferences, experiences, and the new training completion. User experience flow. Welcome screen, sign up, log in, profile questions, orientation training, dashboard access. Progress indicators show users how to complete their profiles. Are encouraging them to finish. Show users how complete their profiles are, encouraging them to finish. Monetization strategy, company listing, free trial. Trucking companies get 1 month free to establish their profiles. Subscription model. After the free month, companies are charged $2.99 a month. Wait a minute. Not exactly. Wait. How am I doing this? Oh, yeah. That's true. All right. I need to change that. Until January 1st, they're going to get 2 months free trial. because that just gives time for the app to get populated. That's reasonable. You can't expect them to start off paying that with not many drivers there to be matched with. Driver access. I got another idea too. What about the first 10 companies are free? No, I think they'll sign up for the $2.99. They'll sign up for the free trial, 2 months, and they can quit it. They can just cancel anytime. Yeah, okay. Driver access. Free trial drivers are free for 3 months, $9.99 a month afterwards. Early sign up incentive. Drivers who sign up by November the 1st get 1 year free account, 3 months in October, November, December. Okay. I need to change the way that's worded. I meant for the first 3 months. Admin dashboard. What specific features would you like to include in the admin dashboard? How do you envision the referral system working in practice? I didn't say that, but you're right. I did want that. The structure, and that's why I was thinking about $19 before, so that there could be a referral system. This structure will help you create user-friendly app that adds real value for both drivers and trucking companies. Are you ready to proceed? Create a tier for hand-picking trial. Oh, that referral system. I don't know. You said what? How do I envision? I don't know how it works in practice. Maybe they just let me. Well, for one thing, all right, I'm gonna record this. So let's see. On the trucking company free tier. Now, January 1st, I'm just saying the reason I have it like this is because the app will be new. I don't even know when it goes live. So, but obviously it's not going to be heavily populated for a while. So these tiers that I'm talking about, they are going January 1st. Starting January 1st, trucking companies get 1 month and drivers get 1 month. I think, where is that at? I might have already said that. And the drivers, it's going to cost the drivers $19 then. No, let's leave it at $9. Let's leave it at $9. I don't know. To me, it just seems too low of a barrier, though. But we'll leave it there, because I got to keep in mind that some of the people who will sign up, I hope, are not drivers yet. So they may not have the funds to put toward, especially, combination of lack of funds and not being of a place in mind to consider this a value or the value of it, especially being new. They may not want to pay any more than that. So for now, it'll be what I said already. And I'm dragging this video, this recording on too long. But the other thing was the referral system for trucking companies. AI, I'm going to put the OpenAI API in here. That's what's going to be needed for dynamic matching. And also, it will be used, I imagine, to assist me to further add questions that's needed. Maybe I'll send drivers who for trucking companies that want to pay for me to scout, find drivers, then I guess one part of the admin dashboard will have a place for me to manage that. And so the trucking companies will, if they have additional requirements that I need to know about that would make a driver qualify to be with them, then there need to be a way to negotiate the rate. I guess an option for me to set the rate. Well, you know, yeah, just state the rate, I suppose, because negotiations can take place in notifications or messages within our dashboard. Well, oh man, so much to put together. Uh, the simple aspect is I set the rate for the referral. They can choose to accept it or how you say it, counter it, and I can choose to accept it or counter it. And I guess I don't know what happens after that. I, I haven't done something like this, but I guess it just, I don't know, handle that the way it needs to be handled logistically. But also there will be a way for us to, outside of just clicking boxes, the rate is this, do you accept or counter? In addition to that, we can actually just send messages and talk. Oh, and of course, we can talk on the phone too. But who's talking on the phone? How do you envision a referral system? Yeah, so that's it. Have it so I can set the amount and have it so that I can onboard them for that. Not an extensive onboarding, don't need much, but just basically sign up for it. I already have your information in the profile, but sign up for it so that it populates the area in the dashboard for the companies who want to enroll in this referral program. And then when you sign up, then I will give you the amount for the referrals, and you have a place to actually first the additional criteria if you have any, and then I tell you the amount for the referrals, and then that's pretty much it. Uh, you don't pay unless I find you referrals, so you're not losing. And if I find you what you're looking for, then it's worth whatever amount I charge. Theoretically, I would think. Anyway, that's enough on that. Let's see, what features would you like to include in it, man? That's all I can think of right now. Like I said, I need to be able to add to the training and switch out things. And of course, traffic, growth, visits to the website, um, Google Analytics tracking stuff eventually, or yeah, eventually. Not tonight. Tonight we working on to see what comes up. But and other normal stuff that you will find in the dashboard, admin dashboard. Um, click through rate, traffic, returning visitors, new visitors, profit and loss. We need week over week comparisons, month over month, 3 month over 3 months, 6 months over 6 months, year over year comparisons, traffic and profits, growth. That's always important. And like I said, whatever else you think is important to have in the admin area. 2 more rounds. So this is kind of cool because you can look over it, add or take away. I'm not going through it. I'm sending that out. Man, I'm feeling like I do have this in one of the GPTs in the business and idea GPT, I think, enrollment process. I actually have the whole quiz along with the course material saved there, but I just wanted to do everything through here and see what comes up because you can always do it over. Focus questions. What specific metrics do you want to prioritize in your ad? You know, they already asked me that, basically. How do you envision managing the communication process between you and the trucking companies regarding referrals? Or help you build a robust platform that meets the needs of both drivers and trucking companies. Are you ready to proceed? Additional consideration, user communication, implement a notification system. All right, so let me just go ahead and say, we'll use Go High Level API for email and SMS and support email. Support email and SMS and I don't think we need it for notifications. Well, create a way for drivers and companies to provide feedback on the referral process and matches for continuous improvement. Yeah, okay. I like the additional considerations. Oh, uh, what specific metrics? How do you envision managing communication process between you and the trucking companies? All right, this is enough, I think. I think I'm going too far, way too far out. I tend to try to cover things that I feel like might come up quickly to keep from having to do or deal with them quickly. Uh, so quickly. Sounds like you're forming a well-structured plan for your app, integrating important communication tools and establishing a robust admin dashboard. Let's outline these new features clearly to ensure everything is covered. Go high-level API integration. Utilize the Go high-level API for managing support emails and SMS communication. Ensure that trucking companies can receive notifications via both app notifications and SMS in email. Admin dashboard features, staff onboarding and management, staff access. Create different roles within the dashboard. Okay. Admin role, staff access. Full access to manage training, content, analytics, and staff onboarding. Junior admin role, limited access, including the ability to update training materials and view analytics. Junior admins can also designate staff memos, but with restricted permissions compared to the primary admin. Notification management. Provide a section in the dashboard for staff to receive support notification and feedback messages from drivers or trucking companies. Allow admins to delegate tasks on notification management. All right, trucking content management. Oh, I keep forgetting something. Enable staff to update training videos and quizzes, ensuring the content remains relevant and useful. Key consideration, role permission. Clearly define which each role can access. All right, ensure the onboarding process for staff is straightforward and includes guidance on how to use their specific dashboard features. Yes, I shouldn't I? Focus question. What specific permissions? Man, I don't know. I just gave it to you, much as I know. How do you envision the process for staff to provide feedback on the app's features or user experience? Feedback on the app's features. Oh, direct notification to the admin. All right. Oh, also, I forgot one more thing. There is no, maybe two things. Is a news portal. Now, how does this work? In the app also, the podcast pod. Maybe I need to do a real podcast. Uh, I have podcast videos currently uploaded to YouTube daily. Does YouTube API allow this to to automatically also post here, or will I have to do it manually? If manually, because we had our last question, manually give access to that from to junior admin. Well, I said have a way for me to plug in an API for a real podcast in the future. And as of right now, we do have regular news podcasts coming out on YouTube on a daily, except for the weekends. So we'll see how it handles this. This is going to be all interesting. The structure will help you create a functional and efficient dashboard. Okay. Let's see what happens. We'll see what we come up with. 5 o'clock. I'm gonna. I knew we need to go ahead and finish this thing. The app is shaping up to be a comprehensive tool for the trucking industry. Let's integrate features related to the news portal, podcast management, and notification system in your plan. Provide an input field for regular podcast feeds or API. This feature allows you to easily integrate future podcast episodes or content from other platforms directly into the app. Ensure junior admins can manage. What did the first one say? YouTube API. Investigate YouTube API. All right, cool. Notification system, we already got all that. Focus questions. What specific criteria do you want to include for content approval, if any? How frequently do you plan to update on the news portal? That's daily, dog. Oh, I'm done. I can't answer another question. That was the issue I had before. And I can't, man, there ain't no button to finish it. Now what? Tell me I lost all this work. Oh, good. I can copy it. I got it all. Hey, that's why I'm doing it. Okay. So I'm going to click off the screen. How do we get here? Last time I was working on this thing, but I worked on the other side last, and they done broke this while I was working on the other side, I suppose. Oh, that doesn't do anything either. Man, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. Enter doesn't get it. I'll help you organize. Scattered. Now what? Only thing I can do is close it. Maybe it's keeping it. I don't need to sit in here with it. Oh, I can't even close it. Oh, I'm sitting here thinking. For a minute, I was thinking I was in Replit working on it. Dog, that's why I'm stuck. Stuck like Chuck. Stuck like Chuck. We're gonna have to. Oh, let's try to refresh it. See what happens. Oh man. Let me see. Oh, let me see if anything is. They're going. Is this Truckers AI? No, that's the 17. Oh, so I did. No, that was just me playing around. Uh. Oh, okay. I hadn't checked this feature yet since I added it. All right. So that's not saved. So we're back to the drawing board. Where we at? Boutique apps. Boutique apps. Dog, I thought I was getting ready to start on something new. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. Come on, man. Nah, I need to work on it. Be like, yo, man, we got serious problems, man. Serious problems. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna have to stop the video because this got to be uploaded. But maybe, um, maybe there'll be another version or the next episode. Nah, I ain't gonna get back to it tonight. I got other stuff to do. So the next version will be tomorrow. We have drama. No, I ain't gonna write that. Um, Let me make sure that I didn't just forget to. So I want to get to the same point in the development environment. Um, Things that are important to truckers need to be asked of companies. Companies, period. Things that are important to trucking companies need to be asked of truckers and people who want to become truckers. I should have said, we have to start right there. Are you a trucker or are you looking to get into trucking? That got to be the. Oh, it's coming up with the stuff itself? It came up with the stuff itself, but it's the standard stuff right now. Company culture, that's it. Nah, that ain't enough. But that's cool. So it came up with the basic stuff, matching algorithms. Yeah, that's good, but we also need stuff like how long do you expect your drivers to be out? Okay, for the company. How long do you expect your drivers to be out? What's the minimum amount of time for your drivers to be out? Can drivers drive the truck home? Is there secured parking for drivers' cars when they're out on the road? What additional types of equipment do you have to drive besides driving? Or yeah, what are all the types of equipments you have to drive? Is there training for each type of equipment? Do you have a training program? Is the training program paid? What are the terms of the training program? Obviously, we don't have it. It should be constructed in such a way where, well, yeah, the matching is going to have to pull from this information. But when you check the profile, of course, you're going to have the training program laid out and everything. But so some of the questions that I'm saying is not necessary to be asked, for like standard information that's going to be on the company's profile anyway. You don't actually have to ask the company that. Um, but it's the outliers, the edge questions that are not common. Have your recruiters, what's the average number of drivers per recruiter, per dispatcher or driver management? That's an important question. Um, have your driver managers or dispatchers, the person that's going to be dealing with a driver, have they undergone any type of training for dealing with people? Uh, uh, you know, who will be driving the truck, basically trying to find out if they're going to be treated as a person, an individual, or a piece of equipment. That's what we need to know. Um, all right, so I'm acting like this is the real thing. All right, because, well, I don't know if it could be carried over. Nice. Yeah, that's good. Oh, it asked me which questions do you think of? You're really digging deep into details, which is fantastic. These thoughtful questions will help create a robust matching process that addresses the unique needs of truckers and companies. Let's organize your ideas into key areas for both truckers and companies. Exactly. Let's. Oh, I mean, let's just keep going, y'all, because this, which of these, how do you want to proceed? Yes. This is not really going to help us right here. Do you want to proceed? What features, functionalities, do you think are essential for the MVP? Collecting the right data and ensuring the matching works effectively is essential. We'll use Go High Level API. So, well, let me just leave that off right now. One more, and we get to the same point. Holy moly. All of the data is essential for matching. That's the only way to determine. Matter of fact, we need a match score with the data. So there's that. And also there will be a training portal. There will be an orientation for truck drivers. And on their profile, it will be noted whether or not they successfully completed the orientation. You got to get 100 to complete the orientation. Now let's see if we get stuck here. Wait a minute. What's the next screen? Man. Oh, we ain't got there yet. Calm down. Let's see if we get stuck here. Yep. Now I could tell it. How would you like to proceed? Man, you ain't giving me a way to proceed on this screen. There is no way to move forward. Man, I hope I don't forget. And let me, after question 6, I get feedback from AI thought organizer, but then there is no go button, no proceed button, nothing. I have to I, I don't even think we can't even close the screen with the X, but wouldn't want to. However, it's supposed to work. All right, let's go. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, you can fix this in one shot. And then I could let you guys go for this session as I work on getting this video ready for upload before I get back to it. Let's go, Agent 3. Handle this. It's light work for you. Let's go. Oh, Bitcoin is going back up. Who'd have thought? Executed. Who wouldn't have thought? Let me pause it real quick. Ba-ba-da-ba. Now the only thing is, how would you like to proceed? Why is this extra space up? Oh, interesting. Don't really need to do all that. You got a different color background, but it's cool. It's still doing stuff. Close. Hey, well, if you're gonna close it, it needs to be a backup. I need to be able to save this conversation so that if if anything happens, I could plug it back in. That's a huge value add. Oh, you have an account. All right, so there you go. I'm gonna have to shut y'all down because I need to stop this video to get it uploaded. But what I'm gonna do is, I don't know, this don't seem like it should be too hard to do, but suppose you have to leave. I want to be able to save this to your dashboard. All of this conversation saved to the dashboard so that you can pick up here. Update website to show beta tester in the admin panel. Okay. I don't know how you got on that today. Remove the blocking condition. Oh, for this. 6 rounds of conversation. You get it ready to move forward. All right, so now we need to test to make sure, get the full analysis. The project assessment response is correct. Before I click get full analysis, I am just checking to make sure we have the, man, I ain't gonna do that. Let me just go and see what comes up. I will say this though, let me ask this. How hard is it to save this conversation in the user's dashboard so if anything happens, he can copy it, he can pick back up right here or copy the conversation and paste it back into the I don't know, what's the other part called? Into the input for creating the app. I asked it a question. Let's see how it answers. How hard is it to save this conversation in the user's dashboard so if anything happens, he can pick back up here or copy the. That's a great idea. Saving the AI conversation history would really be valuable for the users. Let me check how the current user system and dashboard are set up to understand what we need to add. All right. Meanwhile, I've asked the question. Now let's see what happens when I. All right. This works perfectly as it's supposed to. That's great. Oh yeah. And now this generates. I don't know if y'all seen that or not. This generates questions specific to the project. So this is still good. Now that part is good. As soon as it answers this question, I'll deploy it. So if you come to use the app tonight, it should be working. But right now this video ends. Thank y'all for watching. Give me some feedback. Would you like me to create? Oh, what is it saying? Save button. Add a save button to the conversation button. In the AI assistant dialog dashboard, integrate, show save conversations in your existing user dashboard alongside quotes and PRIDs, resume feature. Okay, perfect. I'm going to say, yes, let's do this. Put it in build mode, and I'm going to say, yes, let's do it. Oh, it ain't even saying put it in build yet. It's about create a task list to implement the conversation saving system. Integrate seamlessly. Okay, yes, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, y'all. So that should be integrated when you see it too. All right, peace.